The fox is here! ⴰᴏᴄ day, it is message some months, ⴰᴏᴄ morning, ⴰᴏ afternoon, whatever ⴰᴏ may be working the best for you. You can even sleep here. Today this fox has decided that we shall indeed continue with the story of Anamnesia. We do have quite a bit to go through yet before completing it, but I wanna try and aim to the completion. Added here, it does have a super emotional outcome, but yeah, I already do imagine vaguely that it will have something that will have a huge impact on us. Overall, the story did proceed that way. It was super atmospheric, dramatic, with different questions to ponder. And yeah, due to the game's title also, Anamnesia, Am I My Body, I still wonder what it means. There are so many mysteries behind the world setting, so we'll uncover something that is gonna be an emotional damage, I do assume. So far how the game did go was... Give me a second to change the screen. There we go, the game comes crashing. As always happens with this game, to me. It is not the game's fault, it is my putter, not mine actually. The putter that I'm stealing to stream. Give me a second to reconnect it. Okay, there it is. So, Anamnesia Part 1, Am I My Body, did tell us so far a story of us, how we woke up in an apartment that we did not recognize so far. We were locked in there, with two other female characters that did not have real memories coming to how they come in there. They do have vague memories, very confused ones. So yeah, we started trying to understand how come we are there and whatnot. We realized that it's some sort of game of life and death. We don't know if it's the original urban legend of the game or if it's someone emulating it. And the building does consist of 3 teams. There is a question team that does have 3 members, and there are 2 answer teams consisting of 3 members each. And we do happen to be in the answer team. And basically, a question team member does come to our area, and we have to try, by interacting with them, to understand whom is a secret member in their team. So far, we decided to keep to ourselves quite some details coming to the wall, because also some of the characters do seem to know of a certain person that may be in the other area, and we choose to stay silent because there were some very suspicious things that happened in the past with that person. I don't understand if it was us cheating on our girlfriend with that person or what, but yeah, we decided to keep silent even though we questioned everyone's decisions when they seeming to be hiding something. But at the very least, we do admit that we decided to keep to ourselves some facts. And I think it is the key there that we should be speaking up, and we decided to not to. So far, we did have no choices in this game. I believe it's gonna be a kinetic novel. That is a visual novel with no choices. So far, we also got an access to one of the locked rooms because there were doors with there was a room, with other doors, and one was especially locked. Just as of recently, as we did progress a bit with reasoning and whatnot, the one that is organizing the whole eerie setting decided to open up the last door. We did get access to that, and there are some tubes, and it seems like as there are some artificial memories, microchips in our brains. Yeah, there are microchips in our brains. We can view the surroundings differently from the others. For example, it's an alternate reality. For example, the actual apartment does look terribly. We did come to know that from the member of the question team, because they do not have their brain microchipped. That is the original state of the apartment, while we do see it as a cozy, elegant, comfortable place. Yeah. And it seems like we do have a log of memories also that we can read over. With some of it did disappear, and in that room that got opened up, we do come upon a tube. And one of the female characters from our team did work with the organization that is supposed to work with those sort of things like the microchip thingy, the memories, the memory storage, and stated. Like, she was not among those that do the major work from what I did understand personally, but she does know her way in it quite a bit. So she did state that we may enter the tube and see if we can gain back some of our memories that were probably erased or like stored somewhere else. And we're about to enter that tube, yeah. And I wonder what will we discover from the past. I hope this sum up wasn't too chaotic. I do be sorry for stuttering once again, but yeah. I had woken up not so long ago, and I did my best at explaining the wall. While did the game get removed? Oh, okay, here it is. Give me a moment, it's crashing again. We're gonna make it, I promise. We're gonna make it. Please don't do that to my game. Okay, now I do adjust the size. Just a second, and we can proceed. We can finally proceed. Like, I am very curious to what we're gonna discover once we do enter the tube, but I'm also like, I want to know, but I don't want to know. Yeah, that's it so far. Let's proceed. There we go. Without any further thoughts, I simply step inside, one foot, then the other. Sit down. Lay down. Oliver, would you please close the lids? Sure thing. Oliver is the member of the question team that is with us currently. I hear his footsteps coming closer, then stop. Well, don't mind if I do. And thus, as he was asked. After a couple of seconds, I hear the same sound coming from the pod next to mine. Are the two of you comfortable? Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, feels better than I thought. Yeah, feels like a spa, I bet. The pod's floor is slightly padded, the water pleasantly warm. Can't complain. The most comfortable I've been all day. Though, in a way, it brings back unpleasant memories, somewhere deep down. I remember this feeling from before I woke up. Memories of Amelia flooding my mind, and they're about to return once more. Amelia, has she been looking around this strange room as well? Is she also lying inside one of these pods, about to dive into her past? Their past? Our past? I wonder. Everything is set up. Are the two of you ready to begin? Am I? Sure. So I did enter the bathtub, me in one of those, and another one is for Valerie, the other female character, not the one that does know her way around the thing, of course. She's there to monitor the situation. I guess so, yeah. Good, please just close your eyes and relax, one step ahead of you. After a while, you'll slowly drift off to sleep. Don't worry about anything, I will make sure to wake you up once you're done. Alright. And then, no more voices. Silence. I just lie here, motionless, wondering whether I'm doing anything wrong. Maybe I just suck at falling asleep? But then, after a while, everything starts to feel increasingly heavy. Like I couldn't move even if I tried. But I didn't try, I don't have a reason to. Honestly, maybe it'd be nice if everything could stay this way. If I could just peacefully stay here while the other team solves all this and wins the game. Yeah, of course. Of course, avoiding the problem. And then if I'm lucky, I'll never have to wake up again. Yeah, the one team that does win, it was stated that they will get out alive, and the other will pass away. Yeah. A game of life and death it is. I'll never have to wake up again. Preferring to die than to face the situation and the truth we are hiding. That sucks. Oh, a change of art style. Hey, not bad. You always practicing here? Sometimes. Sorry, I just heard music from in here and was wondering what's going on. Didn't mean to bother you. It's fine, I was done anyway. Perfect timing, huh? Really too. Was pretty good. What's the song called? I didn't think of a title yet. Think of a title? Wait a second, you wrote that yourself? I didn't even know you played an instrument in the first place. You're telling me you write your own songs too? How cool! Oh, it's not nearly as impressive as it seems. Anyone could play something as simple as this if they give it a try. Oh, but thanks, I guess. That's not true. Come on, no need to be so modest. It's rare to find anyone who still picks up a real instrument in the first place. Being able to play anything is more than impressive enough, if you ask me. And either way, whether it was difficult to play doesn't really have anything to do with how much I liked it, does it? I mean, you're not wrong, sorry. I just didn't want you to expect too much or something. I don't know. Idiot. Oh yeah, Adrian, right? We never really talked despite being in the same year and all, huh? And there you go calling him an idiot. Yeah, I guess so. I just don't stand out that much. That's how it is when you spend the breaks in here, huh? Oh, sorry, not that there's anything wrong with that. As long as you're happy with it. Yeah. Anyway, I got a class coming up. Gotta go for now. Okay. Was nice to talk to you too. Would you mind if I stop it by again? Huh? Sure, if you want to. Well then, see ya. Bye. Hey there, how's it going? Oh, hi. What's that look for? I told you I'd come by again. I mean, yeah, true. Well, here I am. Little sooner today, but I'll just sit quietly in this corner and read a bit. So don't let me stop you at all. Stop? From practicing, duh. Wait, you just want to sit there? Yeah, I thought you'd play something for me. Oh, but I'll mostly just be playing the same song again. Perfect. Was hoping I'll get the chance to hear the full thing this time. Seems like we're a tad gloomy with our mood. And she's so cheerful. Like not expecting much and drink what is there. Awaiting the little things that she did appreciate and that to us were not as important or as cool. Pretty much the opposite. Alright, if you say so, then just give me a second. Then I only heard a bit of the ending last time, but you've gotten a whole lot better, haven't you? Sound way more precise, or something like that. Dunno, not an expert on music. I mean, I didn't practice much else since last time after all, but thanks I guess. Are you planning to actually record this as, like, a real song or something? At some point maybe. I'm still working on the lyrics. Not really making all that much progress, but if I ever get it done, I might upload it somewhere. Wait, for real? Lyrics? You can sing as well? About as much as I can play the guitar, so no, but doesn't really matter. I'm just doing this for myself anyway, for fun and stuff. Well, as long as you tell me once you're done, I'm excited to see what you can come up with. Sure, I'll do that, so... Oh, want me to leave for now? Can let you practice in peace if you'd like. Do whatever you want, you're not bothering me or anything. Glad to hear it. Well then, I'll just continue for now, but if you want to say anything, then I'll just do that, don't worry. Okay. Adrian, you said anyone could write something as simple as that, right? Yeah. Do you think you could teach me, if you feel like it? Wait, what? Oh, I thought it might be fun. I always wanted to play an instrument, but I don't know, never got around to it. This might be the best opportunity I'll ever get, you know? But I mean, I barely know anything beyond the basics myself. I'm not sure if I'm the best choice for this. Oh, I don't care about that. Best case is we both learn something new. Worst case, well, I still won't know how to play the guitar, but like, then I could at least prove you wrong about anyone being able to write something like that. So really, no pressure if you don't feel like it. I just thought it may be a cool thing to do, and stuff. I mean, as long as you're not expecting anything out of it, fine by me. At least you won't just be sitting around watching them. I guess you're right. Well, you want to start right away, or... Sure. Damn, I can't believe how quickly you're improving. You're gonna catch up to me in no time. Well then, quit slacking. How's your son coming along anyhow? Decided on a title yet? Oh no, not really, I'm just not really getting anywhere with it at the moment. What's the matter? I don't know, it's just recently I can't seem to focus on the guitar all that much. How so? Too busy with studying? Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Idiot, why are you apologizing? Sure, that sucks, but at least you're already preparing for the exams. I haven't even thought about those. Wait, what? You're aware they're starting next month, right? Yeah, sure, but in the end, I don't care all that much about the results anyway. Not like I'm planning to go to uni or anything like that. But you already know what you want to do? More or less. Can you keep something to yourself? Didn't really tell many friends about it yet. Sure, I mean, who am I supposed to talk to anyway? Good point. Have I ever mentioned that I don't have a Neuralink? No, but I already heard that elsewhere. Is that how it is? Talking to people is too much to ask, but eavesdropping is fine, huh? No comment. Gotcha. Well, anyway, I'm not planning to change that. Wait, you're gonna leave the zones? I know. It's much safer here, and I can continue living my life without any worries and blah blah blah. But much more than any of that, I want to experience things, be free, and live life without a chip in my head. Sure, I understand that, but don't you worry, it's not a rash decision, I promise. I have some good friends that share a house and still have room for me. I went there a bunch of times already, and honestly, it's in a really safe area. The course might act as if pure anarchy reigns outside the zones, but trust me, that hasn't been the case in a long time. There are many beautiful places, much more beautiful than anything you'd find here. I believe you know, really. It's alright, I was just surprised. Yeah, I guess I can't hold that against you. That's why I barely told anyone about it yet. Feels good to do so, though. Well, good thing I don't have any friends, huh? Exactly. Yeah. Ew, what are you doing there? Where's the guitar? That's, what people call studying. At least I call it that. Boo, boring. Obviously, not like I'm doing this for fun. Just really can't afford to mess up now. Aren't you, like, super smart anyway? I'm sure you did the exams either way. Not smart enough to skip studying. My parents are gonna kill me if I... Wait, you're even taking notes? For real? Isn't all that saved on your fancy chip thing anyway? I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's just easier to organize my thoughts on paper and... Wait, why am I even explaining this to you? Where are your notes? As if I'd bother with notes. Never have, never will. If I ever forget anything, it probably wasn't that interesting to begin with. Wait, never? So you don't have, like, a diary, either? What? A diary? This seriously looked like someone who'd keep a diary. No, I mean, I thought everyone with a Neuralink would have one, or a journal, or something. Without a Neuralink, sorry. Where do you hear that? Well, sure, some probably do, but I'd never. But aren't you constantly forgetting stuff then? God, you're acting like I got dementia or something. Did you ever feel like I forgot about anything relevant you told me? Not yet? Not yet? Well, sooner or later you probably will, won't you? True, but maybe that isn't all that bad. I just think that might be how we're supposed to live, how we used to live in the first place. Before Neuralinks became a thing. People didn't always remember everything either, you know? Yeah, of course, but I still think that people back then wrote things down and stuff. Sure, I'm not gonna argue with that, but they didn't write everything down, not every single word they ever heard or said, just the things they personally thought of as important, the things they didn't want to forget, no matter what. And you don't have anything like that? I just trust my brain to decide for itself. If someone tells me something and I forget about it, probably just didn't care enough. If I can't recall a place I've been to, just because I didn't take any pictures, well, then I guess the time I spent there just didn't leave much of an impression. With other words, if I still remember something after years have passed, then I truly know that it's something that matters to me. That's how I choose to think of it, at least. That's not actually how it works, but I do like her way of thinking. Like, I like her positivity a lot. I mean, I'm not sure human memory works like that. Oh, shut up, my point is, if I failed the exams just cause I didn't take any notes, then the teacher should have just tried teaching something that's relevant in the first place. And with that, have fun cramming. Yeah, thanks. Hi. You alright? Yeah, I mean, it's nothing serious, I just finally told a couple of friends about my plans. What I want to do after school, I mean. And well, let's just say their actions weren't quite as relaxed as yours, perhaps not even close to it. But hey, not like I expected anything else. Well, at least it shows that you're important to them. Sure, I know they mean well, but my god, does that make it any less tiring? I mean, do they have that little trust in me? Do they really think I haven't told this through for years? That I don't know what I'm doing? Don't worry, you don't need to add anything constructive. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Otherwise, I'd have shouted at them next we meet. Well, maybe I'll still do that after all, who knows? Understandable. No need to look so serious, it's fine really. In the end, they'll have to come to terms with it anyway. And let's be real, you'd have probably reacted the same way if you weren't such a damn pussy. That's probably true. Idiot, but I mean, I'm glad you're this way. That I can just talk to you without having to overthink everything. Worrying about what you might think or something, so yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, thank you too. That you even talked to me in the first place and stuff, and Never mind, that's all. You sure? I'm just thinking too much, don't worry. Come on, just say it, I'm not gonna laugh at you. At least not any more than I always do. It's really not important, I just once again realized how close all of this is. The exams, you moving away and... No, gonna miss me? You poor little thing, come on, it's not the end of the world. We can still meet up, you know? You won't get rid of me that easily. Yeah, sure, I know, I told you I'm just thinking too much, alright? Well, as long as you know. But hey, as unfounded as your worries might be, I'm glad to hear you have them. You rarely ever tell me what you think. After all this time, I still sometimes question if you really like spending time with me, or just lack the courage to say no. Or whether you just don't care either way. Hey, are you listening? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm aware that this whole social interaction thing isn't really your strong suit. But I can see what's going on inside your head. I only know what you tell me. Yeah, I know, I will try my best. Yo, Adrian! Huh? Oh, hi. Well, how's it going? Okay-ish. Oh, well, all that studying really paid off, huh? Okay, by my standards, maybe a more fitting description. In that case, I don't need to worry, huh? Well, anyway, I actually wanted to ask you something. You probably aren't going to graduation party, are you? Alright, that's a thing that's happening. Thought so, but guess what? I was asked to perform as part of the stage program. So yeah, surprise, I agreed. Oh, cool, sure, I'll come around. Great, that was the answer I wanted to hear. So not even the question I mean to ask. I actually wanted to know whether you'd like to join in, perform together with me. Wait, how, what, with the guitar and stuff? No, as a comedy duo, obviously with the guitar and stuff, duh. I know, you barely got around to playing recently, but I'd really be glad to play some music with you again. That was quite sudden. Thanks for asking and all, but I'm really out of practice, and in general, I don't know me, standing on a stage. I'm sure you'd more than manage. Still, I of course don't want to talk you into this or anything, just know that the offer's there. Yeah, sure, thank you. I'll think about it. Well then, we'll see each other, right? Yeah, of course. Hey, there you are. So, how'd you like it? It was great. I didn't expect you to sing as well, to be honest. Yeah, thought just the guitar'd be a bit boring to listen to for most. Want to give it a try. Just like you're still planning to with your song. How's that going anyway? Found some time to work on it since the exams are over? Well, not really. After all this time had passed, I don't really know if I'm feeling it anymore. I kinda think I should start from scratch at this point. I see, bummer. You sure you don't want to at least record an instrumental version? I thought I'm the only one who'd like it. I don't know, I'd rate or not. Oh well, definitely tell me once you got that new song done too. If I'm not the first one to hear it, you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, sure, don't worry about that. Promise? Yeah, I promise. Good, well done. Still need to chat with some people here. But out for drinks with a couple of friends later. You can come too if you want. Oh well, I don't know. I think I'm just a bit exhausted right now and going out for drinks isn't really your thing anyway. Yeah, sorry. No need to be, was just an offer. So you're gonna go home now? I guess so. Okay, well done. We'll keep in touch. Yeah, sure. And you know how to get a hold of me, right? Of course. Good then. See you soon. Bye. We're such a loner here. Oh, and this is Emilia. Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here? Not at all. Is this seat taken? Hmm? Oh, no. Great. May I sit here? Mm-hmm. Damn. Excuse me, do you have a pen I could borrow? Here. Thank you so much. I'll return it after class, alright? Here, thanks a lot once more. Sure. Can I sit here? Yeah, of course. So this is how he met Emilia. Nobody is sitting here, right? You guessed it. I mean, I haven't seen you talking to anyone throughout this entire semester, so... Hey, I mean, not that you're wrong, but... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you or anything, it's just... It's alright, don't worry. I know you're right, just didn't expect anyone to notice. Well then, that's good to hear. Hey. Oh, hi. Good morning. Huh? Morning. What's your name? Oh, Adrian. Good, I'm Emilia. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Emilia. Did you remember or check the log? Check at the log. What about you? Who knows? Where are you going? It's lunch break, isn't it? I'm aware, but I was wondering what you would be doing. Oh well, I just walk around and sit down somewhere, nothing in particular really. You're not planning to eat anything? Maybe I haven't really thought about it yet. I wanted to head to the cafeteria, so if you want to tag along. Oh, sure. So that was food. Did you not like it? Oh no, it was fine. I just didn't really know what to say, but didn't want to stay silent either, so that was food. What a nice choice of words. Don't worry, I don't mind at all. Or did it bother you? I hope you don't feel like I forced you to eat with me. No, of course not, was hungry anyway. Why did you ask me to come too? Well, why not? I think that's a rather normal thing for people to do, wouldn't you say? I guess you're right. Oh, I'm glad you think so too. I honestly wasn't sure whether it was. I see. Well, as you noticed, I don't really know anyone here, so I don't mind the company at all, yeah. Oh, I don't either. That's why I thought about talking to you in the first place. You seemed like a nice person and... like you didn't have anyone to talk to either, just like me. Huh? Really? Didn't strike me as the loner type. You managed to approach me just fine after all. Oh, come on. Sorry, choking time. Oh, come on, that was nothing. Anyone could do something as simple as that. Anyone, huh? Well, don't you think so? I don't know, I was never really one to approach other people. Has already been that way back at school, only really had one friend, who I got to know a few months before graduation, and she was the one to talk to me first, so yeah. Well, surprise, it wasn't all that different to me. I also only had one actual friend at school who has approached me first as well. I thought a couple of years earlier than in your case, I suppose. Well, thinking about how we first spoke made me feel like I should give it a try as well, like I should take the initiative this time. Walk up to someone and talk. So trust me, this wasn't easy for me either. So yeah, they did meet at the uni. I wonder if Sophie said goodbye to us. I see, maybe you're right. Maybe I should give it a try too. You should. Either way, I take it you won't mind if we do something like this more often from now on? No, of course not. Good. So, have you tried talking to anyone? Have you? I'm already talking to you. Isn't that enough for now? If you say so. I don't know, I thought about it, and honestly, I don't really know what to talk about. I don't know how to start a conversation in a natural way. Really, what's your trick? Wait, how did you know I had a trick? You really did, I was just... Oh, I guess so. Well, it's just something that my friend told me. The one I mentioned before. You want to hear it? Sure. He told me to just go through my log and check in on conversations other students had around me, especially at the beginning of the semester. How they started to talk to people they didn't know at the time. Then I could just try some of the things they did as well, until something works. Like what? Like pretending I forgot my pen at home, for example. Wait, you didn't actually need that pen? You know, I don't think people usually lie about that just to have an icebreaker. Well, who knows, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I saw that it worked for some of them, so I at least wanted to give it a try. In the end, it didn't go anywhere, so he asked me whether I would like to join you in the cafeteria. Precisely, so really. You don't even need to come up with anything yourself. You got all those examples lined up, just pick one and try it out. If you want to talk to someone, and if that someone asks you a question that you're unsure of how to respond to, you can quickly search it up and see what other people have replied to similar ones in the past. I see, You don't look convinced. No, that's not it. It makes sense, definitely. I guess I might give it a try. Well, I hope it helps. Tell me if you do. Hey, Adrian. Taking care of some assignments? Hi, yeah. Math? Ew. Yeah, I agree. Now that I think about it, I never asked what you're majoring in, did I? I assume it isn't math. It might as well be too, judging from the amount of time it is up, but no, artificial intelligence. Yes, I see. You look like someone who would study that. I do? Is that an insult? Ah, no, I just mean you kind of look like a nerd, okay, yeah. Good to have that out of the way. In that case, I guess you look like you study, yes? Fashion? Is that an insult? What? How is that an insult? Doesn't it mean that I look stupid, like someone who surely wouldn't major in anything that's actually useful? What? No, I just mean you're really, Anyway, what are you studying then? Changing the subject. Parapsychology now? Didn't see that one coming, did you? I honestly didn't, damn. That must be even tougher than A, huh? At least it doesn't force me through all that many math courses, so I'm grateful for that. But generally, it is pretty tall, yes. Not that I'm going to complain. I chose that major after all. My father is conducting research for Neuralink. Has been doing just that since before I was even born. Growing up around him, I've always been wondering how the tech behind those chips works. How it influences the way I think, remember, feel, and how different it would be if I never get one implanted in the first place. How I would see the world. Anyway, sorry, I know you didn't ask for this much of an explanation, but that's why I choose to study what I do. What about you? Huh? Oh, well, I guess kind of for the same reason. My parents both work at Arterms, so I guess I will take over the research one day. Stuff like that. I see, that makes two of us then, I suppose. Yeah, true. Have you been around androids a lot throughout your life then? Well, yeah. We've got two at home instead of my parents who hardly ever stop by after work. It's the same for me actually, my father also owns two of them. Sometimes I feel they have acted more like parents to me than he himself ever did. It's almost a little sad. Now that I have moved into my own apartment, I still visit them every now and then. Even if my father isn't home, I still see them more often than him. Oh, that's so sad. Sounds very lonely. Like, lonely coming to the fact that her father isn't there. So you got pretty close to them at least? I can't deny that. After all, for the longest time, they were the only ones I could really turn to. Often they still are. I know how pathetic that sounds. Trust me. No, it's fine. I get where you're coming from. Just, I don't know, I could never get used to the idea. I couldn't just accept the fact that I wasn't even good enough for my parents to waste their time on me. I didn't want a substitute. Ouch. Maybe it would have been better to choose our words carefully. More carefully, or not to say that at all. Hey, come on, I'm sure... Sorry, I didn't mean to vent. Just forget about it, alright? If you say so, but if you ever want to talk about it, feel free. Oh, so she didn't get that... in a way that it made her feel worse. Yeah, sure. That's good. Good morning, Adrian. Oh, hey. You look tired, did you not sleep well? It's fine, just had some assignments that I still needed to finish for today. Got everything done though, so that worked it out at least. Please don't overwork yourself. No, it's alright, really. Anyway, I've been thinking about some of the things you told me, about how, like, I should try talking to some other people, besides you and stuff. Oh, right, did you? No, I considered it, and you're right, I could absolutely do as you suggested, it will probably work. But then again, I'd just be copying what others have said before me. Those wouldn't be my words, my conversations. It would be nothing more than a collection of empty phrases and generic small talks. At that point I could just read through my log and imagine talking to people without ever actually doing so. That would be just as productive. So really, there is no point in knowing how to approach others if I don't even have anything I want to talk to them about. Is that how you feel? I think you're doing just fine when we talk. But that's different, you were the one to approach me. You're putting in all the effort, asking questions, tell me about yourself. All I could come up with on my own was, so that was food, that's it, great job, genius. Well, you might simply need some practice, admittedly. I just researched my log for topics and went from there, so why don't you try doing the same? Just tell me something about yourself. I just don't think I'm all that interesting of a person, to be honest. That doesn't matter at all. Just, what did you talk about with that friend you had at school? You can simply use that as framework for now. Well, we talked about music mostly, about playing the guitar to be more specific. Wait, you play an instrument? I didn't even think that might be interesting to mention. You're aware that barely anyone does that these days, right? The thing is, I don't. Not anymore. Did at the time, but dropped it around graduation. Oh, why is that? I suck at not just because I was a beginner, I wasn't making any progress either. Clearly there are just some people who are cut out for that sort of thing, and some who aren't. It's as simple as that. I do not agree, it's not as simple as that. To me it's more like there are people who would be constant and would not give up, and there are those who would, in case they choose that road for themselves. Come on, you don't truly believe that, do you? Sure, some might struggle more than others, but as long as you put in the time... There we go. You'll surely improve. Maybe you should give it another chance. Nah. I do sometimes get the sudden urge to pick up my guitar, but then I just realize that next to my studies, I don't have time left to waste on something so pointless. Not like I was ever good at concentrating on more than one thing at a time. Which is not necessarily bad. Pointless, huh? Is that really how you see it? I can't think of much that is more meaningful than making art. After all, no matter how many interesting thoughts or ideas you might have, only by expressing them in some fashion can you share them with those around you. If you never end up doing that, if you keep it all to yourself, you might as well never have existed in the first place. Come on, it's not like I ever knew all that much about music. You think in the little time I'd have to spend on songwriting, I'd be able to come up with anything unique? Something that hasn't existed before? I'd just be playing the same old chord progressions that thousands of others that have before me. That's not creating anything. That's nothing to remember me for. That's not true, you know, I have a hobby as well. One that I, in all honesty, haven't gotten around to since school either. I was in my school's drama club. I've participated in multiple plays. When acting, you might argue. I have been doing nothing more than reciting a script I saved on my Neuralink. I haven't written any of it myself. I didn't create those plays. But it was about more than just reading the script. It was about how I presented it, how I expressed it, how I portrayed it. Only by embodying my role in front of the people who watched me, I created the image of myself in the role I am playing. Only when I am acting can people perceive me as that role. I guess I see what you mean. Sorry, don't know much about acting. Well, it's not like I'm an expert on it either, but you don't always need to be in order to share your thoughts. So, are you gonna pick it up again? I definitely want to. I'm just waiting for the next auditions at the university's theater to start. I see. Hey, how about we check out the play they are currently performing? The next performance should be on Thursday, if you're free that evening. Is that a date? Oh, I still have a lot to do, I'm not sure if... Well, it's not like it will be sold out, so you can still decide spontaneously. I see then. Sure, sounds good. I try to make time for it. We got an agreement. Ah, there you are. I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, me too. Now that I think about it, what's the play about anyway? Well, I don't know the whole story later, of course. From what I can tell, it's about two men who are perfect doppelgangers of one another and start to switch places in different kinds of situations. Oh, so it's like comedy focused? As far as I know, yes. Oh, alright, well, might be fun. I hope so. So, are you ready to head in? Sure. So, what did you think? Yeah, it was pretty funny. Funny, huh? I don't really know much about acting and all that, but I feel like they did a good job at least. Also, pretty amazing how they managed to make the two leads look like they really were doppelgangers. How did they do it? Was it some kind of AR application or something? I'm pretty sure those were just twins. Oop, twins? Alright, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Absolutely didn't see that twist coming, or well, any twist really. Like, I guess when you expect something to be a simple comedy piece, any kind of twist would surprise you. No matter how obvious, if they performed the exact same play, but simply told me it will be like some kind of psychological mystery thing. I don't know, I feel like I would have called it right away, you know what I mean? Did you not like it? I did, no, it was good, just I think I still need some more time to properly process it. It reminded me of some things. I see. I really enjoyed attending it with you either way, so thanks a lot for coming along. No need to thank me, I wanted to see it too. So you'll be heading home then, I assume? You still get a train to catch, right? Ah, yeah, of course. One of the downsides of living with my parents. Well, in that case, I won't keep you any longer. See you on Monday. Yeah, of course. Bye. Bye. Hey, Adrian? It's getting pretty late already, don't you think? If you want to, you can stay over at my place. I mean, it's not like I need that long to get home or anything. Of course, I was just... Sure. Sure? If I'm not bothering you or anything, that will be nice. Oh, not at all, so... Lead the way. Here we are. Make yourself comfortable, I'll be right there. Can I put my stuff? Oh, just wherever you want, don't worry about it. Alright, thanks, your place looks nice. Pretty cool how you hung up all those photos on the wall. Never seen anything like that before. Oh, thank you, it's not nearly as original an idea as you make it out to be too. Photo walls like this used to be pretty common once. It's just that physical images in general have gotten way too rare these days. Huh? I guess so, makes sense. What gave you the idea? Oh, it would be more accurate to ask who did. It was that friend from school I had mentioned. Avery is his name, by the way. He's the one who gifted me the camera in the first place. Oh, and he's on some of these photos too. Like this one. I see, pretty unique gift, huh? I agree, that's why I hold it so dear, I believe. Capturing and organizing memories in this fashion feels so personal. Whenever I look at one of these photos, I'm reminded of the day it was taken, in a way that feels so much more vivid than simply reading through the corresponding entry in my log. Less factually accurate, perhaps, but sometimes, the words that were said matter less than the feelings attached to them. At least that's what I believe. Like, overall, I truly do love the writing style here, but the fact that they do recount of our nowadays things as if they were in the long past, it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Like, I can totally imagine the world by the descriptions. I love that kind of writing where there's a particular type of world you have to imagine, and when you get the possibility to get a grasp of it fully. Yeah, I'm sorry that sounded incredibly pretentious, didn't it? Oh no, not at all, I just don't really know what to add, to be honest, sorry. I see, well, if you don't mind, we could make use of the opportunity and take some photos of us. One for the wall, one for you. Would be a shame if we forgot about each other, wouldn't you agree? I honestly don't think that will happen either way. Is that so? Of course, I can't just forget people that easily. Can you promise to always remember me? No matter what? Huh? Where's that coming from? So you can't? Oh, no, of course, I promise. I'm glad. However, I'm not sure I can promise the same. So, just in case I do end up forgetting you one day, would you mind taking those photos anyway? Oh, sure, fine by me. What is that about? Thank you, give me a second then. I'll get the camera. I like them both a lot. Which one do you like? Oh, it's hard to say. I guess this one? Alright, then I'll keep that one, and you can have the other one, alright? Huh? What? Okay. I simply trust your judgment more than my own. I'll decide where to put it some other time. I will need to find a good place for it. Thanks a lot for doing this with me. No need to thank me at all. You know, you're different, somehow. What do you mean? From usual, I can't really put it into words, but this whole evening you've been different from usual. Is that so? Well, I guess the play did make me feel a bit sentimental, you could say. Oh yeah, the left quite an impression on you, huh? You said it reminded you of something. Do you, want to talk about it? Maybe I do, maybe I should. Go ahead then. Sometimes I wonder, if there was another person just like myself, would she live the same life I do? Would she make the same decisions? Do the same things? What do you mean by a person that's just like yourself? Someone with the same DNA, born at the same time, raised under the same circumstances, so a twin, like an identical one. Well, in a way, but also not really. Twins clearly aren't the same people, we know that they exist. They live different lives, but why do you think that is? Well, at least to them being different despite the same genetic base. Their memories, I guess. Right, even if they grow up together, no matter how close they are to one another, they can't make the exact same memories. Two people cannot occupy the same space at the same time. But what if someone did? What if a different child was born instead? An identical body, surrounded by the same people? Would it experience the same events I did? Would make the same memories, and then wouldn't now stand where I do? Wouldn't just be you? But I wouldn't be here. My point of view would be occupied by a different self. Would that self be content with the way I choose to live my life? That's what I keep wondering about. Whenever I decide not to do something, I can't help but worry about whether it would be unfair towards that hypothetical self. Would she want to do this? If she was in my position and had the chance to, would she have done it? Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting the life I've been given, like someone else should have gotten this chance instead. I'm not sure what to say. But don't you think it's more important to focus on what you want to do, instead of what someone else might have wanted to do in your position? Of course I know that. The problem is that I barely know what it is that I want. Is there anything that could truly make me happy? Maybe I haven't found it yet. Maybe I never will, if I only do what I know I want. Sometimes I can barely distinguish between what I want and what I only feel I should want. There are so many things I still want to try. Or do I only think I should give them a try? Like what? Well, for example, did I even want to talk to you in the first place, or did I just feel like I should start socializing because everyone else does it? Do you regret it? No, not at all, of course not. Don't worry, I like spending time with you. So then, what's something that you're still unsure about giving a try? Well... Her face begins to fade away. Did I keep my promise? I have never forgotten, of course I haven't. And yet, to this day, I remain unable to truly recall the way she looked at me that night. Throughout all of this, what was she thinking? How did it make her feel? How did my eyes reflect in hers? I don't know. Those are the things I want back most, and yet no matter how often I read these words, they will remain empty, overshadowed by what came after, the things I never wanted to remember, and yet I always do. Her smooth, angelic skin, the soft dance of flesh on flesh, the precise shape of her each and every body part. I hate all of it. I'm now floating in this void of my own creation, the weeks and months I project from my log. Did doing so accomplish anything at all? Or did it only ever make those memories haunt me all the more vividly? Be right back, young mans. I'm gonna take my kiwis here. daily kiwis to be here. Okay. I may be numbing a bit by playing the game. Please don't mind me. Kiwi break. I also saw that possibly I stopped choking after a while. But I feel like I have a sore throat after reading for a bit. Okay, so let's resume. I'm now floating in this void of my own creation. The weeks and months I purged it from my log. Did doing so accomplish anything at all, or did it only ever make those memories haunt me all the more vividly? Either way, this isn't the end, and after what feels like more mere seconds and an eternity at the same time, the world begins to fade back in. Adrian, is that you? It really is. Long time no see. Sophie? What are you doing here? Sophie. So we do return back to the times of school. No, wait, she came back. Wow, what a warm welcome. So sorry, I was just surprised, it is all. It's nice to see you. Yeah, it's nice to see you too. So, again, why are you here? Who knows, maybe to pay you a visit? Wait, what? Really? Sorry, no, honestly. I completely forgot that this was the uni you wanted to attend. Actually, I've been here a bunch of times in the meantime. What a coincidence that today is the day I'd first run into you. Huh? What do you mean? I'm looking for someone. You don't happen to know Anamnesia by any chance? Emilia Newman, to be specific. Huh. That is quite sad and told that they don't know each other. Like, we did know due to how the life and death game proceeded and what was told, but I wonder if there's a particular reason of why they don't know each other and they do know us. Emilia, well, can you describe what she looked like? Describing her will be an option, but how about this photo instead? A photo? Yeah, she loves taking pictures, got an entire wall covered in them. Oh, is that so? Huh. Yeah, she definitely studies here. Haven't really seen her around in a while, though. Yeah, that's what I thought. I probably don't have any idea where she could have been since then. Wait, what? Did something happen to her? Ooh. What happened? I don't know, that's why I'm here. I see, I'm sorry, I have no clue. I didn't really, well, talk to her or anything, which probably won't surprise you, I guess. Why did we lie? Makes sense, especially since she's almost as quiet as you. Well, if you really don't know anything, I guess I'll keep asking around. I know, not really, sorry, best of luck. I hope you find something. I hope I find her, yeah. Hey, Adrian. You're free in the evening. When I'm done here, we could sit down somewhere, chat for a while. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of talking, but I am. And I'd like to talk to you. Well, yeah, I'm free, sure. Great, so I know a nice little bar nearby. Just down the street, on the left. You can't miss it. Has a huge sign with a crow on it, cause... Yeah, creative, I know. 8 p.m.? Yeah, sure, fine by me. Perfect, then later. Yeah, later. And good luck. Thanks. Hey, over here. Give me a moment. I wanna finish them kiwis first. So that I can proceed without stopping with the reading. Fruit. Yummy. I truly cannot wait to review this game, by the way. Also, the developer has told that this part 1 of the game will have the closer to Adrian's part, but not the others. Be right back. So, the kiwis have been eaten. I had to be officially back. Hey, over here. Hi. What are you so tense for? No one's gonna come up and bite you, promise. Oh yeah, sure, I believe that. Sorry, I just don't come to places like this all that often. I'll come down in a bit, it's fine. Not all that often? So you do sometimes? No, never, sorry. So that would sound better. But why is she like that? Like, it's a bit odd to me how she doesn't understand when there are just literally ways of speech. I don't know. Or if she... Or if she thought simply that we came there. Not sure of what to think of this section. Would have been shocked if it had been any other way. Well, you know. If you wanna come down quickly, I'd recommend getting a drink right away. But you don't drink, do you? Oh, I do. I started. Huh, for real? You're not kidding? Aren't you just trying to impress me or anything as stupid as that? No, why? Well then, that's even better. I'd have almost offered to pay for you. But since you've already gotten into it all by yourself, I guess there's no reason to. Oh, now that I think about it. Yeah, damn me. 2 of the usual, please. What's the usual? Nothing special, you'll see. Well, thanks anyway. Huh? I just told you that you'd have to pay for it yourself, didn't I? Yes, of course, I mean, for ordering. Oh, not for that. I'm just trying to get you drunk. Maybe you'll even start talking then. Well, we'll see about that. Looking forward to it. So, well, until then, I guess I owe you an explanation for earlier. I mean, I won't say you owe me anything, but I guess I'm curious, yeah. I thought so, alright then. I guess I'll start from the beginning. After we finished school, I still kept in touch with some of my friends from back then. Not anymore, but roughly 2 years ago. A girl from my class, damn, name slipped in my mind. Was it Vanessa? Might have been. Let's go with that. Anyway, she invited me to see a play she was performing in, as part of her uni's theater. And surprise, her uni is this one. Yeah, that's why I've been here a number of times already. I just kept coming back to see more plays, not because of Vanessa at all, but Leah. Leah? Oh, that's... Ah, yeah, sorry, that's what I call Emilia. So, I guess she's a member of the theater. Yeah, that's right. Did you ever go to see any of their plays? No, I don't think so. You don't think so? Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I only accepted that girl's invitation out of politeness. I came because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Theater wasn't ever really my thing at all. But yeah, I was there, and somehow it was my thing after all. It was stunning. And then it was over. Everyone left the stage surrounded right away, swarmed by friends and family, shared with compliments and bombarded with questions. I talked to Vanessa for a bit, told her how great she was. She was alright. Then I went to see Leah. Barely anyone talked to her. I mean, her role wasn't all that important either, the protagonist's sister. Served more to characterize the main character than to exist in her own right, but she did great, really, and... Wait, did I re-enable the audio? Yeah. Goodness! That type of anxiety though. And she was stunningly beautiful, the prettiest person I've ever seen, that I will ever see. Yeah, did you already drink before I arrived? Oh, fuck you! You're the last one I want to make fun of me. Anyway, I just can't put it in any other way. I'm sure her performance was great too. I mean, I don't know, not like I know anything about that whole acting thing. I just know that I absolutely needed to talk to her afterwards. And that's what I did. Asked her if she had any plans for the night. She didn't. I didn't know my way around the area, and neither did she. Despite being a student here, despite living here, we just walked down the street and ended up in this bar. So that's why you wanted to come here? Well, it's the only place I know in the area, yeah. I come here constantly, after all her performances since, and then gradually, after more and more of her rehearsals as well. She never has any plans, she doesn't have any friends here. Just attends the theater rehearsals. Plays her part and leaves. I don't know, she almost reminds me of you sometimes. Is that so? Well, did you make any friends since we last met? Any competition I got to worry about? I guess not. Damn, really? Nobody? This entire time? Why are we lying? Not really, no. But it's like, fine at all. I'm plenty busy with keeping up with my courses anyway. So that part hasn't changed, huh? Guess that means you haven't ever gotten back into music either. You remember? What? What do you mean you remember? The fact that you got me into playing guitar in the first place? Are you fucking stupid? Of course I do. What kind of question is that? So that means you're still playing? Sure am. I'm not gonna drop it anytime soon. I've been putting out my own stuff for a while. Finally got my first full-length album done early this year. Damn, that sounds cool. So is that like your job or just... I wish, helping out a friend's store to get by for now. But eventually, well, one can dream. Huh. Money is something you'll never have to worry about once you got your degree, isn't that right? What were you majoring in again? Math? Computer science? Yeah, something like that. Sounds icky either way. Well, not my life, as long as you're happy. Yeah. Really too? That's all you've been doing? Never thought of picking up the guitar and writing something? No, truly, haven't touched my guitar a single time since we last met. Well, maybe to put it in a corner or something, but not like, you know. Shame, but well, not like I can force you. Yeah, sorry, it's just like a lot next to uni and all. Why are you apologizing? It's your life, idiot. Sure, of course, you're right. I don't know, felt like I needed to, then again, I guess. Well, you wouldn't remember anyway. Hey, my memory isn't that bad. Come on, what is it? At least I didn't break my promise yet, you know. Last we spoke, I promised that you'd be the first to hear any new song I'd come up with. Did you? Huh? Oh well, guess I lied, my memory sucks after all. Nah, it's fine, much better than mine would be if I didn't have my log. Really too? I'd be happier if you just broken it. I see. But have I truly ever seen anything at all? No, even after all this time my eyes remain closed. Ha, I'm so pathetic, I kept reading all those conversations over and over. And yet I never noticed what they meant, what her words were trying to tell me in that moment. Sophie only ever wanted me to stop worrying so much about what other people might think or expect of me. What she might have thought or expected of me. Why did she start talking to me in the first place? Out of pity? Because she realized that I spent all my breaks alone? Of course not. She saw me that day, playing guitar, and liked my song. No matter how basic it was, no matter how many mistakes I made, She heard it and wanted to talk to me about it. Sure, she wanted to make music and all, and she did. But much more importantly, she wanted to listen to me making music. And then she wanted us to make music together. That's why it broke her heart when she realized that I gave up on it. And even more so when she realized that I might never return to it. Should I die in here, the chance of that ever happening will finally reach zero. That's the last thing she would ever have wanted. I guess I have to face the truth. What she would have wanted is for me to try and do whatever I possibly can to survive. No, not just survive. She would have wanted me to live. So that's precisely what I'm going to do. I have to stop worrying about what might happen to her if I do. Sometimes that's okay. I realize my thoughts have started to clear up. No more strolling down memory lane. I'm awake. Hey, Drunk, can you hear me? A familiar voice. Yeah, sure. Oh, ACG. She's so cute and pretty, goodness. Cutest girl ever. I sit myself up and finally open my eyes. In front of me, Evelyn has placed herself on top of the empty pot in the corner of the room. She's smiling at me, as she tends to do. A smile that comforts yet scares me. That smile is just... Is something the matter? Sorry, you're simply stunning to look at. Oh, is that so? Her expression remains unfazed. The only natural response would have been one of utter disgust. Hell, I'm disgusted myself. But she seems to sense that I'm not being entirely sincere, that I'm just trying to dodge the question. But I don't need to anymore, do I? After all, I've made my choice. I remembered some things. Not like I ever truly forgot about any of it, but seeing all those scenes play out like that, it truly brought me back. Ah, I'm happy to hear that. Do you want to talk about any of it? I think so. After spending all this time with simply hiding from the truth, how should I approach this? Maybe you were right. When you say that, we should all try to make it out of here to the best of our ability. That there is no point in sacrificing ourselves for the ones important to us. I saw a lot of the time I spent with Sophie. No matter what she told me, for some reason I was never able to believe that she actually liked me. No, I kept feeling guilty for wasting her time whenever she reached out to talk to me. I felt like she was only pitying me. Me, who never managed to accomplish anything meaningful in his life, who probably never would. But that's not how she viewed me at all. She wouldn't want me to give up for her sake. She'd want me to make it out of here. I'm very glad to hear that's the conclusion you have reached. Does that mean this has strengthened your resolve to try and win this game? Yeah, that's right. And that's why there is something else I want to talk about. Someone else. Am I really doing this? Once I say those words, there's no turning back. Then, this is what I've been avoiding all along. I never once cared about what might happen to Sophie, did I? I just told myself I did. Told myself I was trying to mess this up on purpose for her sake. So that she, who deserved it so much more, could make it out of here, reunited with the love of her life. But no, more than any of that, more than anything that anyone else might go through, I really only cared about what they might think of me. And truth to be told, that hasn't changed. The only thing that has is my determination to end this. After another uncomfortably long pause, I took a deep breath and... It's about Emilia. I also remember the time I spent with Emilia. I finally spelled it out. I'm sorry for lying to you, I didn't know her myself. I just never told anyone before, not even Sophie. There's not much of a reaction, no hint of a surprise on her face. Like she could already tell where this was going. She simply nods, and without condemning any of my prior behavior, she asks, "What was she like?" Such a simple question. And yet, one I kept asking myself as well. What was she like? Quiet. Not like me, not scolded and dismissive. She might have been just as scared of what other people would think of her, how they would perceive her, but instead of simply shutting them out and hiding away, she always tried to portray herself as caring and gentle, calming kid. She barely knew more about holding a conversation than I did at the time. Yet she put in so much more effort into letting me know that she wants to talk to me. That she wants to be likable. And she was. A lot of what she said might not have been her own words. She might have often copied what others have said before her, things she found in the depths of her log. That's why sometimes it felt like her expression and tone of voice didn't match her words. Like she was simply acting out the way she thought social interaction was supposed to work. But I still believe that she genuinely meant everything she said. That she really did want to express what she felt at the time, she just didn't know how. In a way, you remind me of her. Oh, me? In what way? I don't know, your tone of voice, your choice of words, your smile. For the longest time, I couldn't remember what her smile looked like. I couldn't remember the way she looked at me that night. We took those photos, 2 of them, one for me, one for her. The one I picked, the one she kept, was the one she smiled on. All these years, I only had her expressionless face to look back on. Why did I even keep it? Did she? But now this expression right in front of me is the same. Gentle and calming, yet eerie and demanding. And it works. It works just like it did back then. Right now, I tell her anything she wants to hear. I do anything she asks of me. Despite falling silent, Evelyn doesn't interrupt me. She simply sits there, patiently waiting for me to gather my thoughts. One of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. She also did that. Thank you for listening to me. I think that helped, really. Oh, that is nothing you need to thank me for. That's what I'm here for, after all, in this room, waiting for me to wake up. Is what she means, of course. But deep down, I've long since come to the conclusion that that's the role she's meant to fulfill as well. The reason why Noel trapped her down here with us. To calm us down. To listen to us. To help us remember. I feel sorry for her. She doesn't have anything to do with this. She doesn't deserve getting caught up in this mess. Telling her what she wants to know is the least I can do. So, if I may ask, how did you come to know her in the first place? We went to the same university, different majors, but had some overlap in our courses anyway. At some point she started approaching me. It took a while until it actually worked it out, but then we just kept spending time with one another, for a couple of months at least. What happened then? Nothing really. She got together with Sophie. I decided it was better if we just went our separate ways at that point. Oh, so that was before she met Sophie? Yeah. And judging by what you previously said, Sophie doesn't know about any of this? Asking the real questions, huh? That's right, I never told her and told Amelia to keep it to herself as well. Everything that happened between us. I didn't want for things to get even more complicated than they already were. I wanted to keep my distance from it all. Who knows whether Sophie would have let me. I see. Now I'm sorry for prying, but what kind of relationship did the two of you share? A romantic one as well, did we? I don't think so, no. No, we didn't. I don't think either of us loved the other. I didn't, did I? Guess other people would have described us as friends with benefits or something like that. We never really discussed what we were or weren't. We just were. Until we weren't. I believe I'm starting to understand. This is why you didn't want to talk about Amelia, isn't it? Why I didn't want Sophie to find out. So the wall is less bad than I thought. I thought it was about us cheating to our girlfriend. I swear I'm not sure why. Maybe because of how we did mention before I don't want Sophie to know about Amelia, something like that. But yeah, and that we did mention how we broke a promise and whatnot. I think it was it. Does the brain recall properly? I don't have a log to check. But it's way more complicated, yet at the same time it is not that bad, but still it does have an impact. Even more than what I thought it would be. Pretty cool. Yeah. I never had a good reason to take this to the grave. Had I just told her right away, it would have been fine, a funny coincidence, but at some point the lie had grown too large to ignore. I decided to ignore it anyway. Well, I just want you to know, I'm very glad you ended up telling me about it. After all this time I wasted, she doesn't seem angry in the slightest. I might be to blame if we end up losing, if she ends up dying. And yet she doesn't condemn me for it. She's acting as if this is the natural conclusion to all of this. As if she... The truth is, I already knew. What? What is she talking about? How? Has she been deceiving us as well? Did she know about Emilia all along? Did she... While you and Valerie were busy with the transfer, Oliver accompanied me to the living room where I told him what we have found out in the meantime. One of the things we did was to once again look through the file cabinet we had now managed to open. That's when we found something I had previously missed. A photo. A photo? Our photo, of course. Our. Yeah, I do remember she kept saying, if another person were to exist. But is that like some sort of experiment she performed on herself? To raise herself and to have another one? Or is it simply her? Goodness! But wait, does that mean... No, okay, I did state our photo. Goodness, brain! Calm down. So Oliver saw it as well? Yes. In fact, he took it with him. At this point, he has most likely shown it to Emilia herself, hoping it might help her to finally remember you. I see. Remember me. She remembered me after all. If she does, it might just help us with learning even more once Oliver returns, don't you think? Yeah. And not absent-mindedly. If we just wait for a while longer, Oliver might return with clues that could help us with finally solving this. Great, isn't it? No. Once Oliver returns, it's too late. Once Oliver returns, Nathan will also return to his team. And who is Nathan? Wait, I forgot. It's one of the other team, though. Once Oliver returns, Sophie will learn the truth. Without wasting another second, I'll place my hands on the edges of the pod to lift myself up and step outside. It's not like I didn't have a plan when I decided to reveal the truth. I just didn't expect this to be this short on time. I need to act fast. Sure, that's great news, but I don't think we should wait for that. I mean, we have no way of knowing how much progress the other team has made at this point, right? So even before Oliver returns, we should do whatever we can to figure this out. And I think I might have an idea how to approach that. Oh, really? That's good. Great to hear. What is it? Well, I've been thinking the reason why we never really felt like we were making any progress towards finding an answer was probably because we didn't even know what the question was. So I felt that maybe we should have tried to think about at first what did Noel mean when he asked us to find the truth about Emilia. That's what my idea is about. I think I might know what the question we're supposed to answer is. Really, there's only one thing that comes to mind. One thing that everyone who knew Emilia has been wondering about these past 2 years. What happened to her? Why has she disappeared all of a sudden? Did she just decide to run off somewhere? Was she kidnapped? Something else entirely? And why is she here now? What is the point of this game? Those are the kinds of questions we should be asking ourselves. It's not like we need to figure out who Emilia is. We already know. What kind of truth is that? If that was all, the other team would have won within the first round, simply thanks to Sophie not keeping her mouth shut until the very last minute. Instead, I think we should focus on the things we don't know. I feel like all of what I'm saying is entirely obvious, and yet we haven't really talked much about this at all. Instead, we only just revealed how we knew her, what our relationship with her was. I'm not saying that was a waste, not at all. I think if we didn't, we'd never be able to connect the dots. After all, we wouldn't even know the dots in the first place. Do I know them now? Do I have all the hints to solve this? Yeah, that's about it. I think you have a point. Those lingering mysteries might just be what we're supposed to solve this entire time. You already have a potential answer in mind as well? Not at all. Just vague ideas. I definitely need to think this through for a bit longer and, well, I guess we should probably discuss this with Valerie anyway. Oh, you're absolutely right. She went to dry her clothes a while ago. We should go and check on whether she's done by now. Drying her clothes, huh? Now that she mentions it, I'm completely drenched as well. Obviously after soaking in water for who knows how long. Yeah, and maybe I should dry mine as well. I suppose so. I will explain your plan to her in the meantime. I simply nod and let my eyes dart towards the exit. Evelyn nods in turn, and will leave this room behind. Once and for all, I hope. Arrive in front of the bathroom. Evelyn knocks on the door. Valerie, are you still in there by any chance? A couple of seconds pass and the door swings open. Ah, yeah, just got done too. She looks over at me. Took you long enough. We had a couple of things to discuss before heading over here. I will tell you about those while Adrian dries his clothes. I see, fair enough. When I head to the kitchen then. That was my plan as well, yes. Just come and join us once you're done, alright, Adrian? It should be obvious, but I'm glad she mentions it later. Yeah, sure. She opens the door and they both turn towards the kitchen. Evelyn will take care of all of this for me, huh? Tell her about my plan and about the rest as well? I wonder. The door closed behind them and I'm left feeling slightly uneasy. Maybe I should have said something, I don't know. But it's too late now. Anything else will have to wait for once I'm, well, dry. I shake my head as if to discard any lingering worries I might have and finally enter the bathroom. After locking the door behind me, I quickly take off my clothes to throw them in the dryer at the other end of the room. As I start the device, its rhythmic sound fills the air. 7 minutes, what a waste of time. Not like I have any right to complain. After all, I still need to figure out what I'm going to tell them, still need to put my thoughts in proper order. I want to make this happen, don't I? I want to end this game before Sophie learns the truth. And first and foremost, that means one thing, I need to make sure she dies before the end of the current round. As fucked up as it sounds, that's the goal I set for myself, isn't it? My heart beats the shit out of me for even daring to think this way, but I'll need to ignore that and push through. It's not like I wasn't aware of this before. I take a deep breath and try to focus on what I know. Somewhere, somehow, there has to be a way to connect all the hints I've gathered. I mean, looking back at everything I heard today, there have been a whole bunch of weird things that stood out. This place apparently being where some experiment was supposed to take decades ago. Not having been ruined by some guy calling himself Null, at least according to online rumors. And now all of this seems to use that story as a blueprint. Whether the story is true or not, it's all held together by the most central of characters, Emilia, who has been interested in those rumors for years, whose mother was involved in the original experiment. And then there's this Anamnesia cult. Is not one of their members? Be right back, Xianbans. Toilet time! Back we are. The fox is here. Once again. So, where were we again? And there's this Anamnesia cult. Is Null one of their members? Are they really the ones pulling the strings here? It all connects so neatly. We haven't found a whole lot of hints during our time here, but everything we did find managed to point towards all of this being related to our current situation. As if that's the exact conclusion we were supposed to reach. Maybe I was wrong after all. Maybe Null didn't want us to figure out why we were here at all. Maybe the true reason for us being here is exactly what he wanted to distract us from. That would make sense. If that's really the case, I guess I'm back to square one, damn it. What kind of motive could he have had? Why did Amelia disappear in the first place, and why? My eyes landed on the mirror in the back of the room. All of a sudden a scene from earlier today plays out in my mind, Valerie punching the mirror in frustration. Frustration that has likely been festering inside her for a long time now. Frustration caused by the Neuralink she never wanted to have. That she only got implanted because of that accident, because she needed it to control her artificial limbs. If she didn't, would she have tried to get rid of it? Would she really have gone to one of those more than shady sites she mentioned? Those that apparently overthought illegally removed them. Why did she even look into that sort of stuff when she knew that there was no way for her to live without one? Maybe... Oh, the time went by. Oh, right, the dryer. The time went by in what feels like an instant. My clothes are done. Still lost in thought, I pulled them out and put them back on. I like how, the wall got stopped abruptly. And we returned to ourselves, but it did work on myself as well, being brought back. I forgot about the dryer completely. And I know whether the idea that's occupied my mind will get us anywhere, but it makes too much sense to ignore, or does it? The developer did an extremely great job at setting the whole atmosphere and deciding how to arrange it here. Not only the writing is well made and it is atmospheric as a setting and interesting, everything is so well arranged. The timing and everything is so well thought. I shake my head, it's gonna be fine. There's no more time to waste, I need to meet up with the others. And so I head straight for the kitchen. I guess so, but then... Ah, there you are. As I walk in, the two of them are sitting at the table, still discussing something. Whether it's about my plan or how else we could proceed, who knows? I could ask, but they'll probably tell me anyway. I have informed Valerie of everything you told me in the pod room. See, there's my answer. I simply nod and shut the door behind me and take a seat as well. So first of all, you're a fucking idiot. You really thought I hadn't figured out that you knew Amelia yet? No, I pretty much expected you to know at this point, but yeah. Sorry, she says. I really should have told her in person, but I felt like she would kill me after lying about it this entire time. It's whatever. I'd love to give you a piece of my mind right now, but let's be real. We got more important things to take care of. Why are we here? Or why Amelia has disappeared in the first place? That was your idea, right? Honestly, I should have thought of this way sooner. Guess I was so focused on trying to solve this that I didn't even notice that I had no idea what kind of question I'm trying to answer in the first place. And I think it makes sense. Those are definitely questions we're discussing. Fit the whole scenario too. Scenario? Yeah, the way this entire thing is set up. Sure, the location and the mastermind calling himself Null is obviously just a callback to the game this is based on. Or well, at least the urban legend surrounding it. But it's also just fitting right in with some classic mystery scenarios like death games or ontological mysteries. Stories in which a group of people typically wakes up in an unknown location, trying to find a way out, while often forced to compete in a game of life and death. Stuff like that. And well, unlike conventional murder mysteries where the whodunit takes center stage, These mysteries instead focus on why the characters were trapped to begin with. Wow, she made it sound like she doesn't actually care about mysteries at all. Only ever learned some basics to get closer to Amelia. That being the case, I didn't expect her to know this much about them. I see. That does seem to align with the predicament we found ourselves in. I have to wonder, however, does that knowledge really help us? Those are just fictional stories after all. She's got a point. What good does knowing genre tropes do us? Sure, true. This is a real situation, not something a writer came up with, right? Well, I wanna argue that just because this is actually happening, it doesn't change that someone had to come up with this whole scenario for it. There is no logical reason for the guy behind this to put on this whole edgy mastermind persona and give these weird, probably pro-written speeches at the end of each round. Unless his motivation for all that was the exact same as the one a writer would have when coming up with this kind of story, to hint at their goal. When a story starts with the discovery of a corpse, you expect that it's a murder mystery and you gotta figure out who did it, maybe even how. Well, and when a story starts with a bunch of people trapped in an underground facility, forced to play some kind of game, you'll have to figure out why, exactly. So yeah, all I mean to say was, you're right. That's probably what our goal is, that's probably his entire reason for picking this kind of elaborate scenario in the first place. At least, I can't think of anything else. Well, I can, as well as it does fit. I get the feeling she fell for the exact thing no one wanted us to think. Can't blame her though. It was my idea that got her to this conclusion. Anyway. So while I was in the bathroom, did the two of you manage to come up with any theories? We did not have a lot of time to discuss our ideas, but I do think we did have some that might be worth sharing. Would you agree, Valerie? She clears her throat. Sure, yeah, right. Guess I'll just, well, try to explain what we came up with. Pretty bare bones, but maybe it'll help anyway. I'll just say it how it is. After thinking about it a bit more, I'm pretty much convinced that the collective of Anamnesia is behind all this. Sure, apart from their symbol appearing over in the other wall, in the other hall, we didn't really find any hints that would connect them to this. But there are more than enough details that point towards them. First of all, the location. According to their stories, their leader has a strong connection to this place, so really, their symbol showing up here isn't much of a surprise, more of a confirmation. Wait, what do you mean? What kind of connection are you talking about? Oh, are you ever paying attention? I brought it up twice already. Their leader claims to have survived the original Truth game back in 2071. Well, I was convinced of that being a lie. A fancy backstory he made up to appear like some sort of chosen survivor. I didn't think it had anything to do with us. And realistically, even their symbol appearing here could have been some sort of red herring. Something to distract us from whoever is actually behind all of this. What convinced me of their involvement is that Emilia knew. Emilia knew she would disappear. Yes, you mentioned that when telling us about your last chat. Right before disappearing, she told you that she wouldn't be online for the time being. So that might have been nothing more than a coincidence. Sure, everything that ever happened could have been a coincidence. But it fits so well. She's been looking into this cult and their connection to what happened in 71 for years. Probably because her mother was involved in all that as well somehow. Might just be that she got caught up in something dangerous. Maybe she found out about something she shouldn't have, and that's when they abducted her. She hesitates for a bit, then leans back in her chair, admitting defeat. I don't know, that's all I got. No idea why they would have gotten all of us involved years after kidnapping her. I did mistook the voice before, I thought it was the other girl speaking up. Told you I didn't have much time to think this through. I see. That's really what I originally had in mind, the kind of truth I thought we might be looking for, but just now in the bathroom I reached a different conclusion, a much more optimistic one, at least in a way. I can say for sure that Valerie is wrong. Doesn't mean I shouldn't bring up my own theory despite, or maybe because, it completely contradicts everything she just said. To be honest, I've got a different idea. One that might also explain why we're supposed to play this game at all. That's so? Well, don't be shy, go on. Evelyn simply nods, smiling at me, telling me it's gonna be fine. I can do this. I can, and I will. I may not be certain that my theory is correct, but compared to anything else I say today, this is what I'm the most confident about. Hi Sime, hi, how are you doing? That's not a common visual novel art style. Yeah, it's quite particular. I do love this game, like, everything does fit the setting, and it's quite well thought. It does have, like, a calming pacing, but it does make a ton of a heavy impact overall. We're stuck in a life and death game, we don't know why, but we do share a thing among us that we did know a certain Emily that happened to have disappeared at some point, but she also seems to have known she would disappear. At first I did not share, like, that I knew her due to, I would say, silly reasons, and yeah. And seems like the one that organized the whole thing here might have lied to us on what we have to do in order to exit, because there are 3 groups of people that are consisted of 3 people each. There's like the question team, ours is the answer team, and there's also another answer team. And like he stated that we have to try to understand who is one of the persons in the other room of the question team, and one member of the question team occasionally comes by to us so that we can try and figuring it out. And it seems to not be the thing that we have to do. We're still trying to understand why we're there and what not, and what actually happened to Emily. So yeah, horror visual, but with a calming vibe. Weird, yeah. But I'm really enjoying it. But partially sadly is that it's like part 1, it will have a conclusion to the main character, but not the whole setting, from what I understood from what the developer did share. Alright, so our goal is to reveal the truth about Emilia, but why? Well, Valerie, you said it earlier, maybe because Noel doesn't actually know what that truth is himself. This whole thing might be nothing but a way to gather information on her, for some reason. Gives me House of Morgana vibes. Oh, I hear a lot about that visual novel, and I do have it in my library, but I did not play it yet. Actually, I was quite curious, is the House of Morgana a very depressive game, or is the focus something different? Because, like on visual novel groups I did hear so far, it took a huge mental toll on those who did read it. But if that's all there is to it, would this entire intricate setup really be necessary? Wouldn't it be better to just tie us up and put a gun to our heads? Seems quite a bit more efficient to me. I'm gonna lower a bit the audio. Please do tell me in case it needs some adjustment. And why are the rules so vague? Why isn't he asking specific questions about the thing he wants to hear from us? He clearly expects one of us to know whatever he's looking for, so... I don't know, it's so just weird and unnecessarily convoluted, no matter which way you put it. Don't you think so too? Yeah, I mean, sure, you're right. But like, so what's your point? That's just what we've been wondering about the entire time, isn't it? Well, I consider someone else who might want to know about this truth. Someone who knew it at some point, but not anymore. You mean Emilia herself? I simply nod. They don't look entirely convincing just yet, but I think they see where I'm going with this. By the way, this character on the right is the twin of Emilia. For the longest time, I thought that no one made Emilia lose her memory just like he did with us, just on a larger scale. He abducted her 2 years ago, performing all kinds of sick experiments on her. However, he couldn't have used the same method as he did for us. From what Evelyn told us, the neurological override should only be used for a couple of days at most, right? Yes, that's correct. So what if nobody ever wanted her to forget anything? What if there is some entirely unrelated reason for her memory loss? Like what? For this one, I've been putting pieces together before even gathering them in the first place. Yeah, she did tell us back then that she was asking us to remember her, but she might forget us. I hope my assumptions weren't too far off. Valerie, you got into all those topics surrounding the truth game, the Nil virus, and even that Anamnesia could be because of Emilia, right? I mean, yeah. There's something else you brought up. About ways to illegally get rid of a Neuralink. What? Something like that is... I see. I get what you're trying to ask, and you're right. Emilia is the one who brought that up. We talked about how deeply we both wished to live without that thing in our heads, so that sounded like a dream come true. We do have our brain microchipped, because otherwise we wouldn't be permitted to live in this area. Like, not the apartment we are located at, but at the place everyone does live there. Which allows us to have all of the memories stored in a log. Unlike being able to remember ourselves the things. And we also do view the surroundings with augmented reality. For example, the place here would look trash, instead it looks nice to us. Well, it was nice to at least fantasize about it, alright? No, sure, of course, I get it. Emilia mentioned something similar. About how she had always wondering what living without a Neuralink would be like. Actually trying to get rid of it too. She never brought anything like that up. Well, might just not have known that was an option at the time. Maybe spending time with Sophie, who lived her entire life without one, further fueled her desire to do the same. That might be why she ended up looking into it. I don't know, something about that order of events doesn't seem to quite add up. What is this feeling? What am I forgetting about? Whatever, it can be that important. You also mentioned that it was considered pretty risky. That it could lead to brain damage, as you described it. Well, of course, if it was a feasible option, it would already be offered as an official service. I'm not so sure about that one. I can totally see the corpse lying about it being impossible in order to keep as many people as possible tied to their system. Either way, let's go with that for now. Makes sense, of course. The question is, what kind of damages? Could removing a Neuralink, a device directly tied to a person's brain, perhaps lead to memory loss? When I put it like that, it just seems so obvious, like something I should have considered this entire time. I just hope I'm right. I mean, research on this topic is still being carried out, but yes, that is a possibility. Holy shit, so you think she actually went through with it? It would also explain why she told you that she'd be gone for a while. Not because she feared getting too involved with that cult, but because she had already planned the procedure at the time. Yeah, I guess so. I see, so that is the conclusion you have reached. It certainly seems to add up. Is that what you would consider the truth? What you think we're supposed to find out? No, not at all. Honestly, if I'm right, I gotta admit my original idea might have been completely off. I don't really think Null wanted us to find out about this at all. About why we're here. Sorry for wasting your time, Valerie. What I think is that there is no truth, no specific thing we're supposed to find out. I think the entire point of this game might be to talk about Emilia, about how we knew her, about her life, to help her remember, to remind her of everything she has forgotten. That's why the rules were so vague. We weren't supposed to talk about anything in particular, and our specific choice of topics wasn't supposed to be influenced in any way. Null wanted us to talk about whatever we thought of as most relevant, most memorable, the things she should remember the most. Is that why he deleted our logs as well? So that we wouldn't simply look up what seemed like relevant hints and instead naturally discuss whatever came to mind? Was trying to solve this game like some sort of mystery story my biggest mistake from the start? I admit I like the idea, however. If what you say is true, what about the documents we found? Or the cult symbol in the other hole? Some kind of connection to the cult and the original experiment can be denied, can it? Oh, I absolutely think it can. Valerie hinted at it herself. Those could be nothing but red herrings, deliberately planted clues to distract us from figuring out the real goal behind this game. If all those things really were connected, why would Null leave those very obvious hints for us to find? To me, it almost seems like he wanted us to come to the conclusion Valerie has reached. Maybe Null was hoping we'd give up on trying to understand what some weird cult was up to, instead of even bothering to question our task. We just focused on completing it. Though it seems like it had the exact opposite effect on us. Or on me, at least. He didn't want us to realize that the entire point of this game was something as seemingly innocent as helping Emily regain her memories. But if that's really all there is to it, then why would Null care so much? Isn't messing up your brain just kinda the risk that comes with that whole procedure? Couldn't they just abandon her as is, or dispose of her altogether? That's right, putting this much effort into helping her regain her memories. Does it really seem like something criminals offering an illegal service like that would bother with? Yeah, I've been kinda wondering the same thing. I mean, you could probably argue that they still want to build up a trustworthy reputation and all that, but still, this just seems excessive. If they can afford going through with an operation of this scale, wouldn't they have ways to simply sweep the whole thing under the rug? Especially after more than 2 years? Right, no, really, I don't know. There might be some kind of reason. A reason for why they couldn't just make her disappear. Maybe her father was onto them. He's pretty influential, isn't he? If he got a hold of the people behind that, he could probably pull some strings to hunt them down. So I think he threatened them? Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Come on, don't give up now. You're so close to figuring this out. Don't let those questions spell the end of your theory. There has to be some kind of clue you're missing. I mean, would it add up with how we got here in the first place? None of us remember, but we all gathered up at the Neuralink Center he worked at, right? Nathan, Evelyn, and her sister were there for work. Oliver to get his Neuralink, but what about the rest? I mean, I still don't know who the fuck Eric is supposed to be, but Sophie and I apparently went there to meet up with her father for the first time, after never getting any proper replies from him before. Wouldn't it be the same for you? Maybe he contacted you? I guess so. So you think he's involved in all this? Probably, at least to some capacity. Hold on, are you trying to imply that Professor Neiman would, in order to help his daughter regain her lost memory, assist in kidnapping and potentially killing multiple people close to her? You might want to reconsider such serious accusations. This is the first time I've seen her this agitated. Yes, I hit a nerve with that one. He's quite an important figure in her field of research after all. And she's right, Emily's father being involved in something like that seems pretty absurd, even if it's for her sake. But who knows whether that's really what's going on here? Well, I mean, has anyone died yet? I'd hope not. However, Null said, just because he says one team has to die, that doesn't make it true. Maybe it's just supposed to make this situation feel more urgent, to make us focus on our task. I thought we still managed to waste quite a lot of time so far. You think we might never been in any real danger then? Guess I can prove we were. Evelyn still looks mighty unhappy too. Although that might be true, that would still mean he cooperated with kidnapping a group of people and imprisoning them in this underground facility. Some of which are completely uninvolved. My sister and I have never even met the professor. Oliver was nothing more than a customer with unlucky timing. Even if Null wasn't planning to kill any of us, this would be a serious crime to commit for such selfish reasons. I mean, I can't deny what she's saying. It's true, even just bringing us here against our will is rather extreme. God, I was so close to solving this. I was so sure that everything lines up. Come on, there has to be some kind of explanation that makes sense. I can't just give up now, maybe we weren't brought here against our will at all. Maybe her father explained the entire situation to us and we agreed to help. That might also be why our memories were erased, so that we wouldn't know about the purpose of this game from the start. That works, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Nah, that can be it either. Huh? What is she saying? What am I missing? That completely contradicts what Oliver told us and what Sophie apparently said, you know, cause their memories weren't erased and all that. They would still remember volunteering to participate. Well then maybe they're just in on it. Maybe they're just playing... Wait, the log? Maybe they're just in on it, maybe they're just playing along with... Adrian, I think it might be time to give up on the idea. To begin with, if the motive you proposed was indeed correct, then this elaborate setup doesn't make much sense, does it? If no one was simply trying to let Emilia regain her memories, then would it be much more efficient if she was allowed to talk to the people close to herself? Why go about this in such roundabout manner? Why have Nathan and Oliver deliver messages back and forth between different hosts? Why set this up as a game of life and death? Why? I get it. You're right. I hang my head dejected. She's right. It all fits in a way that forms a satisfying narrative, and yet none of it makes sense in the context of the actual situation we find ourselves in. So much time spent wondering what might have happened to Emilia, what might have happened in the past, that I barely kept the present in mind. This was nothing but a waste of time. Great, so this was all for nothing, figures. She jumps up from her chair, simply sighing. Come on, don't say that. Even with some holes remaining in his theory, that doesn't necessarily mean that it can help us with getting closer to the truth. It could help us, right? Great. I'll hold out on praising him until it manages to get us out of here. For now, She shakes her head, stepping towards the living room. I'll check those documents again. No point in staying here. If you have any other bright ideas, feel free to keep them to yourself. That's what you do best, right? And she's gone, slamming the door shut behind her. What? Evelyn and I simply remain in place, sitting in silence. For a while she stares at the table, making a troubled expression. At some point, apparently having found what she deems to be the right words to say, she speaks up. John, I really like your theory, not because it makes perfect sense, regrettably it doesn't, but because it's more hopeful than any other I can think of. A solution that would let all of us return to our respective lives as if nothing ever happened. It's almost too good to be true because it probably isn't. I have already accepted that I will never see my sister again, no matter what outcome we might reach. Should I start to believe that there was a chance for us to reunite after all? I don't know if I could take the disappointment should your theory turn out to be wrong. I believe that Valerie has similar reasons for being so defensive about this. As long as any uncertainty remains, neither of us can accept this truth. I hope you understand. She's right. I know instantly she's right. I was so determined to find a solution, so determined to find a way to end this game as soon as possible, so determined to make sure Sophie would never learn the truth. So determined for Sophie to die. And yet the answer I reached was one where Sophie wouldn't have to die. I've been lying to myself this entire time. This story was never meant to save us. Its only purpose was to save me from the fear of losing the only person I could have ever called a friend. I don't deserve someone like her, even in the face of death. I'm too weak-willed to truly commit to sacrificing anything for my survival. Like a clueless child, I cling onto some baseless belief that everything will turn out just fine. Every problem I have will resolve itself eventually. But it won't. I would end here. I'll never see her again. She'll find out that I lied to her, and I won't even get a chance to explain why. Not that I could. I'll never play another song, and she will never get to hear it, though she'd want me to break the promise anyway. Right? In that case, Evelyn has been sitting there, patiently waiting for me to think things through and calm down. I raise my eyes to look in hers. So what do you want to do now? I wonder. I suppose Oliver will return soon, either way. Perhaps he has learned something new that might help us. It might be okay to take a bit of break until then. Might be, huh? How about you? Did you have something in mind? Do you want to take another look at the documents with Valerie? Nah. I doubt there's much I could figure out with this little time left, so there's something else I want to do. Something else I still need to do. I get up from my chair. I lean along my lead. I see. Do you plan to enter the living room as well? I nod. Valerie sits at the desk, arms crossed, hands empty. Well, guess the jig is up. I don't really feel like doing any thinking right now. I just don't really know what to do anymore. I see, don't worry, we didn't make any further progress either. It seems we'll have to hope that Oliver returns with some new hints for us. I guess. She's clearly unhappy about her inability to do anything, especially after complaining about how much time we've just wasted. I understand how she feels, I really do. But I don't feel the same. Not quit, she's worried about never knowing when it might be too late. I know that it already is. So, Adrian, you had a reason for coming here, isn't that right? I mean, I guess. You're making it sound like it's something that could actually help us. Well, maybe I'm the one who made it sound more important than it really is, sorry. Guess I just have to keep pretending it is. So, what's that? Well, I just thought... I've been wondering for a while, why is there a guitar in this room? I mean, everything else here is just standard furniture you'd find anywhere. A desk, a sofa, beds, a table with chairs, but an acoustic guitar. You're certainly right. That does seem rather specific, especially with how rare physical instruments are these days. Okay, so what? Yeah, so what? The thing is, I used to play the guitar. Oh, that's almost an overstatement. I tried to get into it for a while before just dropping it again. Never knew much about it. When I first saw it, I thought it was nothing more than a coincidence. How would Null even know about any of that, right? He probably doesn't even know who I am, is what I thought. But now, knowing how much this entire game seems to intertwine with our past, I adopt it is. No, I'm sure that even if everything else here is still from back in 71, this isn't. As I move closer and closer, I reach out for its neck, grabbing it much like Valerie once did with mine. Goodness, why did I have to think that? Holding it like I used to, I turn back around to face the others. They don't say a thing, and I can't read their expressions at all. What are they thinking? So if the two of you don't have any better ideas, mind if I play something? Maybe that'll help us somehow. Somehow, huh? If you say so. I already told you that I'm taking a bit of a break, so just do whatever you want. She smirks in a way that tells me she saw right through me once again. She knows I'm just saying whatever comes to mind, and that I really only have one reason for wanting to play the guitar right now. I don't know whether I'll ever get another chance to. I give Evelyn, who simply remains quiet, a quick glance, to which she replies with her usual combination of smile and nod. And so I sit down, guitar in hand, place it firmly on my lap. I've never been particularly good at this, and now that years have passed since I last touched a fretboard, I doubt I've gotten any better. I check whether the guitar is out of tune, but to be honest, if it is, there's not much I can do about it, not by ear. Instead, I let my fingers dance across the strings for a bit, trying to recall patterns to place them in. Which chords can I still play, really? Do I still remember the song I wrote? God, why did I decide to do this again, and in front of two people I barely even know? No, it's exactly because these two are here, because I need someone to hear this if nobody does. Then I may as well never play it. No, I may as well never think of making music. Even if it isn't perfect, even if it isn't entirely unique, even if it's utterly basic, it's still me. I take a deep breath. My hands awkwardly place it on top of the strings, they begin to move. Music or something resembling it starts to fill the room. A change of mood. I wish you could have heard this, Sophie, but even if you never will, I'm still glad I did this. After a brief moment of silence, Valerie is, surprisingly enough, the first to speak up. Oh, that was pretty odd, actually. She's trying really hard not to hurt my feelings. I can tell she didn't like it, but even she has enough empathy left to realize that this isn't the right time for honest opinions and criticism. Despite knowing that she's lying, I'm grateful for her words. Thanks. After that, silence returns. Evelyn remains perfectly still, with an absent-minded expression on her face, her eyes pointing nowhere in particular. Are you okay? Is what I want to ask. Hey, are you alright? She blinks a couple of times, as if she had just awoken from a daydream. Then her lips part to reveal words that I could never have predicted. I feel like something terrible has just happened. Oh, come on, isn't that a bit harsh? He wasn't that bad. I don't think she's talking about the music. I wish she was. Over in the opposing team, I mean. Oh my god. I apologize. Oh, what did you... Valerie is cut off by a voice that we did expect to return eventually, but with words, quite different from last time. Words that should have made me jump with joy, but right now, leave me with nothing more than utter confusion. The true game has now concluded. The winner is Answer Team A. What the... The doors to the exit have been unlocked. Please make sure to gather all your belongings and prepare to depart at your earliest convenience. After the voice disappears, we remain frozen for a little while longer. It's almost comedic how generic that entire message sounded. Like we're in some game show and we simply won the big prize, please take your money and leave. But instead of money, there's only pain. The internship of games. As I simply continue to stare ahead, Valerie's mouth begins to move, if only briefly. Evelyn, how did you know? I didn't. Not this. Not like this. She takes a deep breath, trying to regain at least some of her usual composure. Is that supposed to be like the feel that the twins do have? It was nothing but a vague feeling. Somewhere deep down, I thought that something had happened to my sister, that is. Well, with that kind of timing, it can't have been a coincidence, can it? What the hell? I suppose not. Perhaps it is true that what they say about twins, how they are connected from birth, by an invisible bond, how they can communicate beyond time and space. Telepathy, huh? God damn it, give me a break. She's upset but not angry, not at Evelyn, not for bringing it up. Not like she has a better explanation for what just happened, not like I do. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that Evelyn was clearly right. Something must have happened to her sister, and that can only mean one thing. So they died? The other team, all of them? She starts her reply without delay, before changing her mind after all. I guess so. Valerie takes care of it for her, so all she has left to do is nod. I thought so. The final nail in the coffin for my theory. I mean, I got exactly what I wanted. We won, and before Nathan reached Sophie's team at that, before she found out, that's what I wanted anyway. That's why I came up with my theory in the first place. But I was wrong. Seeing Sophie again was simply never an option. No matter how hard I tried to come up with a story that would lead to a happy ending for every character involved, it was never meant to be. She was always destined to die. But why? Why is this the way it ends? How did we win? We didn't even solve anything. Me playing guitar couldn't have been the solution we were looking for this entire time, right? That's absurd. That's just plain stupid. What kind of truth is that supposed to be? So, why? Why did it have to happen now of all times? I laid down the guitar next to me on the sofa. Why even bother? Could have thrown the damn thing against a wall, and yet that's what I decided to do. My head has been filled with the conflicting emotions this entire time, but now it's worse than ever. I look at Evelyn, who's just as quiet as I am. How does she feel right now? Is what I wonder. Is what I want to ask. How do you feel? Is what I ask. Huh? Me? I nod. I nod. She averts her eyes, unsure what to say. Are you sad or relieved? I wonder. I suppose if I had to pick between those two, I'm sad. I wonder if a word exists that would describe my feelings more accurately, however. I'm sure there are a lot of words. Finding the right ones is the toughest part. How do I feel about all of this? How do I feel about killing Sophie? The exact thing I wanted to accomplish, the exact thing I had just given up on. I will never find the words to describe this feeling. Instead, I simply stand up, my eyes fixated on the door leading to our freedom. Apparently. You wanna head out? I shrugged. No, do you? Yeah, of course you do. Right now, Valerie is the only person in the room who hasn't just lost someone close to her. Being that lucky comes at a cost too. The cost of not knowing how she should act around us. Whether it's alright for her to just leave, meet back up with Amelia and go home. She's staying here for the simple reason that she's worried anything else will seem insensitive. Valerie, for all the shit she's given me today, she's not without empathy. She's not a terrible garbage person. She's not me after all. It's simply this situation that made her behave the way she did, I'm sure. This overwhelming mess we got caught up in, I can't blame her at all. I nod ever so faintly. It's me who's wasting her time. I guess I'm ready. Let's go. Yes, let us depart. I doubt idling about even longer will do us any good. Yeah, guess so. After exchanging a couple more glances, we slowly but surely move towards the door. Behind it, the familiar sight of the hall meets with the unfamiliar sight of an open door. Oliver is nowhere to be seen, and yet it's there, waiting for us to step inside. And so, without delay, we continue moving towards it. It's really over, huh? Is it? For some reason, I don't feel quite as optimistic as her. No, the closer we step towards the supposed exit, the tighter my chest begins to feel, an increasing amount of dread filling my heart to the brim. I'm just waiting for it to burst. Will this door really lead us outside? Will Noel really let us go, as if nothing happened? Where is he anyway? Not even gonna give us some final goodbyes? Something about this doesn't sit right with me. Like he's up to something. And even if he isn't, even if everything we've been told is true, it just means that I will inevitably run into Emilia. Probably soon. What will I say once I do? What am I supposed to say? What would the right thing to say be? No, much more importantly, what do I want to say? I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of these questions. I only know that I'm terrified of what's to come. With that knowledge, we wordlessly arrive in front of the door, staring at the small chamber within. I hesitate to take the first step, but so do they, until Evelyn decides to speak up. Are the two of you ready? Valerie steps forward without replying. Evelyn looks at me before we do the same. Oh, I still made it for the very end. Hi, developer. Thank you kindly for joining us here. Glad you managed to make it on time. It's a big emotional roller coaster so far. It's a tight fit, but we make it work, more or less. At first, nothing happens. No announcement telling us that unauthorized signals have been detected or anything like that. And then, after a short wait, the door slides shut behind us. Complete and utter darkness envelops us. In these mere moments between the outer door closing and the inner door opening up, I finally managed to feel somewhat at ease. Finding the truth never mattered, did it? And so I wipe my log once more. It's fine, I'll be alright, I don't need this. It has never gotten me anywhere. Sure, I did check it quite a bit, 17 times since waking up in here. Oh, did you count the times that I did check it? That's cool. But did anything I got out of it really matter? Did it really make a difference? Could it still? Not like I'll ever forget these past few hours. For better or for worse, I never will. A gap starts to form in front of us, and light from beyond begins to seep in. I close my eyes. Thank you for everything, Sophie. No matter what awaits me beyond this door, I promise I will live for the both of us. Goodness! Like the fact we did not get any violence in this game, but we got to know what happened. Was even more dramatic, I feel. Like, was heavier. By the way, developer, I did forget. Like, will we get all of the questions regarding what is going on in the further releases? I think you did mention how you would section them, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot. I remember that this is supposed to be Adrian's part, too. game was so good and also quite emotional. I can't wait to leave a review. Thank you for making this game. ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ, do remember it's a free-to-play game. So you can test it out yourself as well and play it for more experience if you do want to. Totally recommend it. Wait, what happened? Ah? Good morning, me. What? Sophie? Whoever invented the concept of standing up before noon, you're probably already dead. Fuck you anyway. Did it have to be 10 AM? Did he even bother to ask if later would work too? Of course not. They could have told him to come around at 7 in the morning and he'd have been all, yeah, sure, sounds good. I shouldn't complain. I've been trying to get an appointment with that bastard for years. If anything, I can still barely believe that Adrian, of all people, ended up being the one to get on their nerves long enough for them to give in. He really kept pestering that center all this time, eh? Poor employee that had to keep replying. Definitely not paid well enough for this bullshit. Wonder if it'll be worth it in the end. I've given up on getting an appointment with him for a while now. Can I take a screenshot of her only? Wait. Ah! This art is so pretty. Not only was it a hassle, I also just started to doubt that I'd even get anything out of talking to him. Meeting with that Shatin won't bring her back. If he had the means to, he could have pulled those strings by now if he'd cared enough to do, well, anything really. He would have reached out to me by himself. Instead, he took the easy way out, cut himself off from the world like the garbage father he's always been. He couldn't care for her when she was still here. Why would that change now, right? Still, now that Adrian's finally got his hands on him, it won't hurt to go and see him. If nothing else, I'll at least get a chance to tell him what I think of him straight to his stupid face. Well, I don't know how stupid it is. Guess that depends on how much Leia takes after him. Heh. Oh, I already wasted 10 minutes lying around. Come the fuck on. Alright, I can keep Adrian waiting. Not after he put this much effort into securing this opportunity for us. Oh, not for us. For me, of course. All for my sake, as he said. And that was a lie. Yeah. If it wasn't so sad, it'd almost be kinda funny how after all this time, he still thinks I don't know. What the hell? That was so cool, like... Even just by seeing Sophie there, I was even more interested in the sequel, but how she did mention at the very end that she knows about the wall. Like, the pacing and the timing is all, like, so well told in this game. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Yes, everything will be answered in later parts. This was mostly about introducing the mystery and then covering Adrian's story. I'm glad you liked it. Yes, Sophie will be the protagonist of part 2. That's so cool. I really cannot wait. Even though I will have to wait indeed. So, we're going to end the stream here. It was not even that long overall. I expected it to be way longer, honestly. The game was so cool. Really amazing. I'm happy to have gotten the chance to play it. And I'm very, very curious to how it proceeds. So, ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. Hi, Thunder Dude! I was about to end the stream! Thank you a lot for streaming it. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. How are you doing, Thunder Dude? So... I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream later today. I think... I will not. But I may stream tomorrow instead. So, as always, I will notice you beforehand for the upcoming streams. 1 hour approximately. And now, to give me a moment to see whom would we raid. You stream the same thing as Joy? Am I supposed to ask Joy who? I'm powerful, how are you? I do be doing goody. Enjoyed this game a lot. Thank you. Joy Mama? Not sure if I know them. Or am I not getting some joke here? Bah! Of course. Small brain it is today. Small brain, I do apologize. So let me check who's streaming. Who's streaming? Fox Brain. A very important one, I would say. An artist that I do really like is streaming right now, so months. In case you want to hop on my Discord server, here's the link. We're gonna begin the raid. Thank you kindly for stopping by, for choosing your time, for choosing to spend your time here around this cozy load fox. I hope you had some fun during this game. Thank you for the hot pot. Thank you. And this is the raid message with no emote version as well, in case you do prefer that one. Pam. Let's begin the raid. We're raiding Ginty, who is currently streaming some art. They're a nice artist. I really love their VTuber, by the way. So we're gonna raid Ginty. Pam. So thank you kindly for stopping by today. We're going to see each other soon. If all goes well, we're going to see each other tomorrow. Perhaps for a collab of mine. Who knows? See you soon. Bye-bye!